We all must admit that after the introduction of tools like ChatGPT and Claude, we have all become too lazy to sit down and write each and every sentence of a blog post or a newsletter. We don't want to pay attention to the punctuations and the grammar and the vocabulary. All we want is that we give it our raw thoughts and it converts it into the final content which we can skim through and then just post. But the thing is that if you go over to, let's say, ChatGPT or Claude, and you're telling it that, here are my raw inputs, please generate a blog post out of it, or let's say a newsletter, then it generates a very, very robotic sort of a blog post or newsletter that you might not be comfortable putting on your website or, sending to your email subscribers. It feels like, why would anyone spend time reading that? Though your information, your input is valuable, but the way it comes out, it's not very pleasing. And if you use these SaaS tools out there that help you with the writing, firstly, it adds up to the cost. And secondly, you don't have a lot of control over the tone and, a lot of things. And that is why today we're going to build this AI system, which is going to generate blog posts and newsletters for you based on your inputs. And you will have complete control over it. You want to customize the tone, you want to customize the structure, you want to customize anything, you can do it because you will be building out this system for yourself. So let me take you to my screen and show you how it works in action. Okay, so this is going to be the entry point of the automation. So basically, every time you want to generate a newsletter or a blog post, you just have to fill out this simple form. You have to put in your raw thoughts, etc. And that's it. You have to forget it. It's going to generate the entire thing for you and then it will email it to you. Okay, so I filled out the form. The topic is very simple, just 3 words, self-hosting n8n. And then in the raw content, I've just brain dumped everything that came to my mind, all the points that I want to mention in the final blog post and the newsletter. And as you can see, we have so many red lines here because you don't have to pay attention to the grammar or anything. You just have to brain dump. You just have to put the raw content in here. So I've talked about how everyone is obsessed with n8n, but they're all just paying too much for it. They're paying for the cloud subscription because they don't know that there is a way for you to self-host it, which is extremely affordable as compared to the cloud plan. And then I've also mentioned how it's not like that coding setup. Even a non-tech person can easily do it. It's a one-click install. Then I've talked about Hostinger, which I personally use for these hostings, etc. I've mentioned how it's done, etc., etc. Then I've talked about data security and privacy, how businesses should go with this, etc., etc. And then I've given an example that, it's like renting forever when you could just buy the house. So if you're buying the cloud plan, you're basically renting a house. But if you just get the VPS, which is self-hosted, then you're buying the house. Then for the target audience, I've said people interested in n8n. For the tone, it's informative, casual, and Spartan. Content type is just an informative read. So just telling them about both the options. Then we have a few keywords. Then I have given the word count for the blog post, which is 1500. And lastly, the style is going to be a friend advising from experience. I'm going to submit the form and after that, we're going to see the results directly in our inbox. So the form has been submitted. Okay, so within 3 minutes of submitting the form, I received this email in my inbox that says your SEO blog post is ready. And here's the link to view it. There is SEO summary, quality scores, and suggestions for improvement. I don't think it had any suggestions for us because our raw input was just so good. Anyways, let's view the blog post. Okay, so as soon as I clicked on the link, it takes me to this Google Doc where I can not only see or view the blog post, but also, edit if needed. Now, here's the title of it that says, Why Self-Hosting n8n is a Smart Move. Okay, I love this title. I would use it as is. Let's see how long it is. Okay, pretty good for a blog post, I'd say. I had given it a word limit of 1500 words, and I think it did stick to it. So let's just quickly skim through it and let's see if it's like robotic, generic, or if it's on the better end. So it starts off by saying, all right. which I think is a smart move. So, all right, picture yourself at your favorite coffee shop, blah, blah, blah. And then it's also giving us these section headings, which is again nice. Keep your workflow yours. Seriously, consider this again. I really like the way it's opening up the paragraphs, and basically, it's going to drive more attention to it because of these. Again, nice. And honestly, Hostinger makes it a breeze. Click install, and boom, Anytime is up and running on your server like a magic. I honestly use this a lot. It's up and running. Just my thing. And it picked it up. That's nice. Okay. And it's also giving like examples at every step, which is also good. Now you can obviously control how many examples you want to put. I personally like to put examples, so I told it to do that, but you have complete control over it. Okay, listen up. Setting up n8n isn't the techie nightmare you might imagine. Platforms like Hostinger have changed the landscape. No need to be a tech wizard. Setting up is as easy as ordering your favorite pizza online. And once it's up, Hostinger keeps things rolling with automatic updates, backups, and security. The last line is honestly, you might just fall in love with the freedom and ease self hosting brings to your business life. Now, I mean, even you would agree that this is not your normal ChatGPT blog post that you generate. The way it's humanizing at different steps is amazing. This is exactly the way I speak, or I would have written it if I were to, though I wouldn't have. But, I like it. And let's say you want to make it more professional sounding, then you can again prompt it like that. I personally like to add phrases like these, personally, but it's your choice. Now let's have a look at the newsletter. For this one, I would say that I would just make a few changes here and there, which would take me about 5 minutes, and I would put it directly on the website. So yeah, 9 on 10 from me. Okay, so this is the other email I got. So I got two in a row. First for the blog post, second for the newsletter. Again, here's the link, and then we have newsletter snapshot, like the subject line, stuff like that. Email optimization, engagement insights. Okay, so let's just click on it and let's view it. It starts off by saying, hey, subscriber's name. So that's nice. We have personalization. Ever feel like you've been throwing money into the wind with pricey cloud subscriptions? If you've been questioning your n8n setup costs, you're not alone. Let's chat about self-hosting n8n, where you save money and keep your secrets safe. Okay, that's nice. Then we have this particular section, quick tips on starting your self-hosted journey. Pick a provider. Hosting is great for no fuss setup. Secure it, back up like a pro, SSL for the win. And then there's a little story for motivation. I remember hearing about this small business owner who flipped the switch to self-hosting. It was like finding an extra donuts in her box. Total surprise. Saved loads, and she killed it with her new edge. I mean, this is not false. Even I have personally seen people switching and, finding it great. So amazing. Now, this is how it's ending it. So, are you set to give self hosting a whirl? Check out Hostinger's one click n8n options. We have a hyperlink here. And hey, join our lively community chat to swap stories and tips. Automation's the way forward, so why not own it? Until next time, keep those gears turning. Best, Yashika. And even the word limit is pretty fine, right? This is perfect for a newsletter. I would personally use it as is, without making a lot of changes, because I like most of the things it has mentioned. So again, 8.5 on 10. Now, do you want to see the magic automation behind this? So let me show you. This is the automation that is doing everything on the backend. The first branch is for the blog post generation, and the second one is for the newsletter. And once it's done, it just emails it to you right away. There's no need to be scared. It's extremely easy and straightforward to set it up. I'm going to guide you step by step on how to do it. And we're going to set up these multiple agents to do multiple tasks for us so that we get the perfect output. So we start off with the planning and some research, we do the content generation, and then this is the one that does the magic, basically polishing and finalization. So the content could come as a robotic one from this particular agent, but the job of this agent is to make sure it sounds like human-like, okay? So that's what makes the difference, and Okay. And yes, if you're someone who doesn't know how to, write prompts or how to build automation, there's no need to worry. I'm going to guide you step by step, and all the prompts I use throughout the video will be available for free that you can use to create this amazing automation system. The very first step of building this automation is going to be setting up n8n. n8n is a no-code automation platform that basically allows you to connect these different platforms, APIs, AI models together and create powerful systems like the one I showed you. It's not just limited to content creation. You can create any automation out there to automate your manual tasks. It's an extremely amazing tool. All you have to do is set it up once, and then you can create as many automations as you like. You can watch any other n8n tutorial out there to create other automations, maybe my video or someone else's, but it's extremely important to set it up correctly. Now you have two options moving forward. You can either go with the cloud subscription that n8n offers, or you can self-host n8n. The cloud subscription is like renting a house, as I mentioned earlier in my raw thoughts for the blog post and the newsletter. And self-hosting n8n is like buying a house. I have personally switched to self-hosting n8n, and there could be two reasons why you would go with self-hosting as compared to cloud. The first reason is affordability. So if you want to save your money, you have to go with self-hosting because it comes at a fraction of the cost that you have to pay for the subscription, the cloud subscription. And the second is going to be data security. If you want to make sure your data is secure while you move it from, let's say, your CRM to your invoicing software, from your invoicing software to somewhere else, then you have to go with self-hosting because all your data, everything is with you and no one else can view it. And also, if you want to cater to the compliances, then self-hosting is a better option. I suggest self-hosting to literally all my clients because of the data security point. Now, the question arises, how do you self-host n8n? Well, we personally at our agency use Hostinger's VPS for hosting n8n for ourselves as well as for our clients. It's extremely easy to set up. It's just going to take a few minutes. I'm going to guide you through the entire process. And then even you will say that getting your own server up and running is so easy. Well, yes, it is 2025. And yes, don't worry about the performance and the reliability. They have great resources that keep your n8n automations up and running 24/7. And you can easily scale as your workflows become more and more intensive. And as I said, it's affordable. You can compare it with the other providers in the market and you will see the difference. So even if you're a developer, if you're an entrepreneur, or even a creator in this space, then this is the best option for you moving forward, saying from experience. A quick shout out to Hostinger for sponsoring today's video. Let's go over to their website and self-host n8n, and let's get started with the building process. So I want you to head over to the description of this video and click on the link which is going to take you to this particular page where you can get started with the self-hosting process. So they're offering unlimited workflows. You can create as many automations as you want. You can launch unlimited concurrent executions and also access the community nodes. And on top of that, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, if you scroll down, you will be able to see all the different plans that they're offering. I would suggest that you go with the KVM2 plan, which comes with 2 vCPU cores, 8GB RAM, 100GB NVMe disk space, and 8 TB bandwidth. This is going to be perfect for most of you to self-host n8n. Okay, so let's click on choose plan. Now you have an option to either get it for 1 month, or you can buy it for the entire year, or even 24 months. I would personally suggest you go with the 24-month plan to save on the cost. And then if you want, you can also go with the daily auto backup functionality so that your VPS data is backed up every day and it's secure and it's safe. After that, select the server location, make sure it is the closest to you, and then select the operating system, which is going to be n8n. So if you're going with the 24-month plan, you can use the coupon code Yashika15 to get an extra 15% discount. So just click on have a coupon code and type in Yashika15. Let's click on apply. And there you go, you have a 15% discount. Don't be sad if you're going with the 12-month plan because I still have a discount for you. So if you're going with the 12-month plan, you can use the coupon code Yashika to get a flat 10% discount. There you go. You will find the coupon codes and the link in the description below. Once you're ready, just click on continue. So once the purchase is completed, you will land right here. All you have to do is go to the VPS section. There you will see the KVM2 VPS we just now bought, and all you have to do is click on the setup button. Then select the server location which is the closest to you and click on next. Then we have to choose an operating system. So I'm just going to search for n8n and I will select the first option. Then you have to create a root password which you will use to log in into your VPS. So just create a password and make sure to store it somewhere. After that, click on next. Make sure this is checked and click on finish. Now it's going to take about a few minutes to set up the server. You can leave the page if you want and we'll send you an email once it's done. Okay, so it has been completed and now let's click on manage VPS. And as you can see, our server is live. Let's click on manage app now. And there you go, we can set up our account and get started. So create an account and then you will land directly onto your n8n dashboard. Basically, your self-hosted n8n dashboard. Before we get into it, a quick introduction about myself. So hello everybody, my name is Yashika Jain and I'm the founder of Automates AI. It's an AI automation agency wherein we integrate AI into businesses. It could be AI workflows, AI agents, AI voice agents, and a lot more. So if you're interested, don't forget to check out the link to our website in the description below. If you want to keep learning more about AI automation, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, if someone is looking for AI consultation, maybe for yourself or maybe for your team, then the link to my consultation calendar is in the description below. Don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn and Twitter. Now that you know me, let's get started. Can you guess the first thing I'm going to do after landing here? Well, it's not going to be creating a new workflow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings and then personal. And I'm going to change the theme to dark and I'm going to come back. Now it seems good to me. I just think that n8n should always be in a dark theme. Otherwise, I don't get the vibe. So anyways, now we can get started with the build. So all you have to do is click on this orange button that says create workflow to start building your automation system. Okay, so we have this blank canvas which we're going to convert into a very powerful system. Okay, so I hope you remember that I had filled out a form to initiate the process. I had given my raw thoughts, everything there. So that's exactly going to be our first step. Let's click on this. Let's select on form submission and let's set up the form that you would fill out every single time you want to run this system. So you can give it a name if you want to. I just like to call it Eva and I just say your AI writer. I'm just going to say that turn your ideas into polished content, just fill out the inputs. I will write your newsletter and blog and then email it to you. After that, let's add the questions in our form. So we're going to click on add form element. The first one is going to be topic. So what is the topic for the newsletter or the blog post? The type I'm going to select as text area instead of text because I feel it gives me more space. So let's go with that and let's put it as a required field. At this point, all we're doing is setting up the form. Then let's click on add and let's put the next one, which is going to be the raw content. Again, text area, and this is a required field. This is the place where you brain dump everything. Next is going to be target audience. Again, required. Then we have the tone. So it could be that you want different tones for different blogs, right? Depending on the topic. So again, a required field. Next, we have the content type. So is it a story? Is it like an informative post? What is it, right? What is your content type? So this is the field for that. Again, required. And we have keywords. If there are certain keywords that rank well for you, then you can just put them here. Basically, put them when you're filling out the form, not right now. And then we have the word count. So this is just for the blog post. Newsletter is like, it's fixed, right? It's about 1.5 pages. But for the blog post, it's up to you how many words you want. So let's just select number here. And again, it's required. Last one is going to be the author style. So like in the previous one, I mentioned how a friend is advising from experience. So that was the style for that particular blog. So again, I think this is a very, very important field. So the form has been created. Now let's click on execute step and we'll open up the form for you. As you can see, you can easily type whatever you want and you can also adjust the text area. Word count, you can put numbers and that's it. Now I want you to properly fill out this form for once because we will need these inputs as we create the automation because we will have to map it in a lot of modules. Okay, so I have filled out the form. The topic is going to be how to be irreplaceable in the AI era. Then here's my brain dump. And then the target audience, entrepreneurs, professionals, and AI enthusiasts. Tone is casual and also talking from experience. The content type is going to be story driven. The keywords are days, word count 1200. This is for the blog post, not the newsletter. And the author style is helping someone from drowning. Okay, anyways, now we're going to click on submit. And if we come back to n8n, you will see that inside the outputs pane, we have one item and all that we had written is right here. You can also go to schema if you want to see it properly. After that, make sure to pin this output by clicking on this pin button. Otherwise, you'll have to keep on, filling out the form again and again, which is not what we want. Then save it. So trigger is done. Next up, let's build the first branch for the blog post. So I have taken a multi-agent approach wherein I don't want one agent to be doing everything, the research, the writing and the polishing, because then it's going to be very robotic and very generic. Instead, I'm going to divide the job between 3 agents. The first one for the research, second for content generation, and the third one to fix the content, the robotic content it has generated. So let's go ahead and set up our very first AI agent for this automation. So I'm going to click on the plus icon, I will select AI and then I will select AI agent. For the source for prompt, always select define below because we want to define it and always add a system message. Now, since this automation system requires a lot of prompting, I have already taken the headache of writing all of them. So there are basically 6 agents and I've got all the prompts for that. I'm going to share it with you in the resources. Look for it in the description. It's completely free to access. Because if I sit and write it line by line in front of you, this would be an 8-hour episode. Okay, so this is the system prompt for this agent. Let me show you. So we start off with the identity. You are a blog planning expert. Okay, so it's not going to write it. It's going to research and make the content strategy. So task 1, research, and task 2 is to create the content structure, right? Basically the hook, the content flow, the section, right? So we divide the blog into different sections. So we have mentioned that. And then we're finally telling it that all you come up with, please return it in a JSON format. The reason why we're going with a JSON format as compared to normal text is so that later in the automation, we're easily able to send it to the other agents. You don't have to worry about this. This is not code. If you look at it properly, this is nothing but a way to easily store data. All the key trends go here. All the pain points go here. All the sections go here with the heading and the purpose and all of that. So don't worry about it. Just easily copy it. Then we've given the writing style guidelines and we have also given a few notes and how to use the tools properly. So if you want, you can get started with this prompt and then later on improve it as you go and test the system and as you want your blog to be. So it's up to you how you want to customize it, but I think it's a good starting point. After that, let's write the user message. So in the system message, we basically tell it what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do. And in the user message, we pass the variable information. In this case, we have to pass everything that we had filled out in the form. Firstly, select expression from here and just open it up. Then type user requirements. Just drag and drop the topic from this one. As you can see, it will be easily replaced. Next, we have the raw content. And just drag and drop. The same thing for the other fields as well. After that, a very simple instruction, create a research-backed content plan that will genuinely help the target audience think before responding. You can easily copy it from the resources. After that, we're going to turn on the require specific output format toggle button because we need it to be in the JSON format. By the way, in the system prompt, we have used markdown formatting. So these particular stars, if you call it stars, they help bold the text. So if I have 2 here and 2 here, then that means that in the eye of the AI model, hook strategy will be bolded, like we bolded inside Microsoft Word. Same thing here. Double hashtags are for headings. So this is heading 2. So I just thought I'd let you know. Now, if you close this, you will see 4 of these. Let's start with the first one, which is the chat model. Now, for the model, you can either go with Claude 4 Sonnet, or you can go with OpenAI GPT-4o. I'm not going to go with GPT-5. Then it's going to ask you to connect or basically select your credential. Credential is your API key. So just click on create new credential. After that, open a new tab, head over to openai.com. From here, just select API platform. If you don't already have an account on the API platform, I'm not talking about ChatGPT, it's different. If you don't have an account, create one. If you do, just log in. If you're new, it will ask you to click on get started, fill out a few details. But if you're old enough, on the platform, then just go to dashboard, head over to API keys, and just create a new secret key. Then just click create, go back to n8n and paste it right here. Okay, and now we can save. That's it, connection tested successfully. You have successfully connected it. Let's select GPT-4o. I'm just not happy with GPT-5 as of now, so I'm just going to stick to this. Now the last one, which is the output parser, is basically to parse the JSON it generates. So in simple language, it's going to generate this JSON. Let me just show you. So it's going to generate this JSON each time, and that particular tool or that parser will just make sure to, separate them so that we can easily map it in our new agents instead of giving one whole bunch of code or JSON. Okay, so let's go here, click on plus, select structured output parser, then generate from example, and let's just give it an example. Okay, so here is an example I have written. Again, I will put it in the resources so that you can copy paste. And that's it. Let's click on save. Now, memory is not needed for this particular AI agent because we're not doing a chat, right? It's just a one-time job. Coming to tool. Since this is a research AI agent, let me also put it in the name. Research and planning expert. So since this is a research and planning expert, I think it's really important for it to search the web for any new trends. For example, if you're writing a blog post on the new AI tool that came out, I really think that it should have the capability to search the web on the new AI tool, go through a few articles, etc., to get information that we can put in the blog post. Or maybe you're writing a blog post article on something that happened very, very recently. Then it's extremely important for it to do its research. So just click on the plus icon here. Now for the tool or for this web search capability, I'm going to use the SERP API. I'm not going to use GPT-4o web search preview. I'm not going to use Perplexity. I'm just going to use the SERP API. It's free to use, so all you have to do is search for SERP API. Go to this link, serpapi.com, then just register. Basically, create a free account. Go to the API key section, copy this, go back and paste it here. And save. So on the free plan, you get about 250 searches a month, which I think is a good start. If you need more, you can always upgrade. Okay. And in the system prompt, I have already mentioned about the tool. So if you look here, call the SERP API tool to research about it on the web and extract the relevant trends. It just makes our blog post or the newsletter much more information rich, facts rich, and statistically rich. Because in your raw inputs, you can't tell it that 13.6% people are doing this. You don't know that. It can search it easily from the web and put it in your blog post, and people are going to think that you're very intelligent. Okay, let's save it and let's click on this cleanup icon so that it looks good, and that's it. Let's click on execute step to see how it's performing. Before I forget, make sure to add some money in your OpenAI balance account. This is separate from your ChatGPT subscription. That's separate. So you can add about $5 and you can keep on using it. Okay, so there you go. We have the output. So here are the key trends, the pain points, the popular questions. We have some statistics. 1/3 of all blah blah blah. 40% of companies. You know, that's how you sound intelligent. And then we have the title. Okay, we have the sections. Now, if you see right now, it's for sure robotic unlocking the potential. Anyone, even a 10-year-old, can tell that this is from AI unlocking the potential. But don't worry, we're gonna fix it using the other AI agents. Okay, so yeah, it has done the entire planning for the blog post. That this is the section number 3, these are the examples, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's doing a pretty good job. If you want to change anything, maybe you want to have more sections in your blog post, maybe you want to have more key points, whatever it is, just put it in the system prompt and it will make sure to implement that in the next run. Now the next AI agent that we're going to create is going to take this and convert it into the blog post basically. Now, if you pay attention to the output of our research and planning expert, you will see that it has created different sections of the blog post, basically. Now, if you ask your next AI agent to generate the entire blog post, all the sections in one go, then the quality is going to decrease. It might miss out on key points, it might not include examples, and it's not a win-win situation. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to pass the sections one by one. We're going to ask it to write only that part of the blog post and then we're going to merge all of them together. So to do that, the first thing you have to do is search for split out. And what do we want to split out? We want to split out the sections. So just hold the sections and put it here. That's it. Click on execute. And as you can see, it has split it out this particular part into 4 different items. So we're going to make 4 different calls to the AI agent to give us 4 different sections, which we're going to merge into one. So this is for the first section. And similarly, you can go to the table to see for all the 4. Let's click on save. And now we can create our AI agent. If you want to save on time, then just, drag like this, select these 4 and just do Command D, which is going to duplicate it for you. And all you have to do is make a few changes. So this one is going to be content generation expert. Okay. Now let's go with the user prompt first. So obviously these are not going to work anymore. You'll have to remap them because this is a new node. So let's just close this, open the on form submission, and let's just map them again. Make sure it's green, otherwise it's not going to show. Okay, so that's done. And instead of this particular line, I'm going to replace it with this, which says, write this section following the research insights and content plan provided. Make it sound natural and conversational. Think before responding. Also, let's put the research insights in the content plan. So let me put, or maybe I'll just put it at the top. The first thing is going to be the content plan. So remember, the previous AI agent had given us an entire plan of how the entire blog post is going to look like. So we will have to tell it for context so that all the sections don't look odd. I don't want that one section is sounding different, the other is sounding different, and the dots are not being connected. I don't want that. So I will provide it with the entire content plan. For that, just drag and drop the output here. But as you can see, it is not rendering properly. So all you're going to do is you're going to put a dot here and just select to JSON string. That's it. There you go. The entire content plan is there. And next up, we need to tell it that out of all of these sections, which section do you have to write? So let's say section to write, and in short, I'll just say section details. Oh, now instead of mapping all of these one by one, what I'll do is I'll just put double curly braces I'll select the split out one from here. I'm going to put a dot. I'm going to select item, which is like all of them. Again, a dot, JSON. Lastly, I'm going to select to JSON string, and that's it. All of this has been added here. If you want, you can scroll down and you can see that, okay, that particular section's details have been added. Don't worry, I will put all of this in the resources just in case you're not able to, write it on your own. Now, how can we forget the system prompt? So let's replace this as well. This is the backbone of the AI agent. So again, similar to the previous one, we're telling it what it's supposed to do, the writing guidelines. We're also giving it some instructions about avoiding the robotic patterns. But, even after doing that, it will still have those which we're going to replace using the next AI agent. Okay, so that's done. And yes, I forgot doing one thing. So in your first AI agent, go to tool and just search for think and just select it. That's it. Now we have a thinking tool which allows your AI agent to basically think more before responding. Same thing here, go to tool, search for think. And that's it. You don't even have to make any change. Let's just click on clean up. By the way, the content generation one does not need the SERP API tool, so let's delete it. OpenAI remains the same, think is done. Structured output parser. So we need to change this, not even change, we need to delete this because the content generation one is not giving us JSON. You can also turn this off. We're not expecting a JSON from this, we're just expecting normal text from it. So let's click on execute step. And let's see how it converts those sections into like completely written content. By the way, if you click on execute, it might also run the previous agent because it needs that for this one. In short, it's going to run the entire automation. Okay, so it's done. Now, if you go to schema, you will only be able to see the last section's output. So instead, just go to table and you will be able to see that's the first section, second section, third section, fourth section. Okay, so we have all the four. Last job is to just merge them. So for that, we are going to use the aggregate node. And for the input field name, it's just going to be this one, output. That's it. Let's click on execute and there you go. Instead of 4 different ones, now we have one. So if you go to schema, you will be able to see that it's all in one. Now comes the most interesting AI agent, which is the polishing and finalization. I personally love this particular part about it. Every time I feel that it's making some mistakes or it's sounding generic or it's sounding robotic, I always go to this particular AI agent and I write a few more lines to the prompt and it fixes literally everything. You don't have to change these prompts. You just have to, change the prompt for the last one and it makes all the difference. So I'm just going to copy this, duplicate, and I'm going to connect it here. So let's name it. Now this, I don't think I'm going to map it again. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy it from the last module. There you go. Okay, let's come back here and let's paste it. There you go. Smart work. Now, not to forget, we need to pass on the generated text. So let's write the blog post content and let's simply map this output here. And there you go. You have the entire blog post content that it's going to basically work on. And one last thing is also the blog post title, which you are missing. So I think we can grab it from the first AI agent. Okay, there you go. We have the title under the content outline. So let's say blog post title. And there you go. Okay, now let's put the system prompt. And there you go. Here's the system prompt. You can grab it from the resources in the description. Now we're telling it that firstly, add human touch. So replace the robotic patterns, add human elements. Then the second job, SEO optimization. We want our blogs to rank. So we're talking about that. Then quality control. And finally, the formatting, right? The sections should look like sections, right? So formatting. And then we're telling it how it needs to present the output. Again, it's going to be JSON ending with a few notes. Now, notes is a section where you can keep on adding and adding based on your testing. So, let's say you tested and you thought that, it's using words like unleashing, empowering, transforming, disrupting, and we don't want to use that. So, you can come here and tell it that, avoid the generic or AI like words. Give it a few examples. That's it. And if you think it is still not listening to you, the last bet is adding it to your user prompt. Even after mentioning it in the system prompt, if it's not doing that for you, come to this user prompt and mention that here as well. So for example, I mentioned this. So take this blog post and title and add natural personality. Swap some phrasing for colloquial expressions, use common idioms, break up longer sentences, and add small tangents or opinions as humans do. Right? So basically, we have said the same thing we have said in the system prompt, but since it was not listening, I had to tell it again in the user message. I hope you don't have to do this if you're watching this video in 2028 or something like that, but at least in 2025, this is the way to basically scold it or ask it to strictly follow your instructions. Mention it everywhere. Not everywhere, just in the system prompt and the user prompt. And based on my testing, I also found a few more points, which I'm just going to replace here. Okay. So this is more on the formatting stuff. Now you will find all of this in the resources, so please don't worry about, writing this or copying this. And let's save it. So the chat model remains the same. Serve API we don't need. Think is good. And yes, for the structured output parser, we need to change the example because this is the example for the first AI agent. Okay, so here's the example that I'm going to use. And if you see in the content, we are doing markdown formatting. So markdown formatting is needed because in our Google Docs, we basically want the heading to be of a larger font size. We want the normal text to be normal, right? So that is where this comes into play. So hashtags are for headings. This /n is for a new line. Basically, when you press enter, you go to the next line, right? Same thing. And then these stars are for bolding it. Similarly, I have given it a few more examples and that's it. We can save this and let's clean it up. This is how it is looking. Let's execute it and see how much of a difference it is making to the content we got from our second AI agent. Okay, so we've got the response. Just switch to table if you want to see the content properly. Now, I don't want you to go through the entire thing. Just go through the first line. So here it says, all right, let's dive into this. This is what we're getting from the previous AI agent. Now, obviously, let's dive into this is very AI-like, right? We can tell. But if you see here, it says, all right, let's talk about something that's just mind-blowing. So do you see the difference? That is why we have this extra layer inside our automation. And you can compare like the other parts as well, and you will see the difference. It's not that we're just wasting our API tokens and trying to create a multi-agent system. That's not the case. We're actually trying to improve and polish the final blog post that we get so that you don't have to spend time correcting things. You don't have to spend time removing these words like unleashing, empowering, and stuff like that. Okay, so let's click on save. Now we've got the blog post, we've got the title, so easy, right? Now what we want to do is we want to convert it into a Google Doc so that you can edit it and use it and then email it to you. Now for Google Docs, if you just put this directly, it will come out as a text which will not be so readable. There won't be any font difference, there won't be any line breaks or boldness or anything, and it's going to be very difficult for you to read it. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to convert this markdown into HTML, which is going to properly render inside your Google Doc. So all you're going to do is click on +1, search for markdown. Here, select Markdown to HTML and just put your content. That's it. Click on Execute. Go to Schema. Scroll down and as you can see, in the data, it has converted it into HTML. So basically, this is H3 level of it, which is a heading inside the Google Doc. So even if you don't understand all of this, that's fine. Just understand that we are doing this for the formatting of the Google Docs. Now, from here, some people, what they will do is they will just use the Google Docs node that is already available here. But if you use this, the formatting won't be in place. Okay, so instead we need to make an API call to it through the HTTP request module. But before that, please add a code module here, because we need to do a bit of a coding to just prepare the data that we will pass to Google Docs through the HTTP request. Now, don't worry, you don't have to write the code. You just have to paste it from the resources. This is going to be the code. Just make sure that this particular line that you're seeing here is correct. So how will you ensure that? So you will ensure that by seeing that output matches this, which is output, final content matches this, which is final content, and title matches this. If yours are also the same, then it's good. If not, please change it. And then here also we need to make sure that the data is being properly mapped. If you want to understand if this is correct or not, just click on execute step. If it works for you, then your mapping is correct. If it's not working for you, then you need to make sure the mapping is correct here. So if you don't understand this much, what you can do is you can send the output to ChatGPT, this thing you can copy and send it to ChatGPT, and send this to ChatGPT and just tell it to fix the mapping, and it's going to do that for you. Not big of a deal, but for 99% of you, this is going to work. Okay. So yeah, if you're getting the output, great. Now we can move forward with the HTTP request. Method is post. URL is this one. Again, you can copy it from the resources, or if you want to go to Google Docs documentation, that's also an option. Authentication, just select predefined credential type and then select Google Doc, or maybe just search for it. Then it's going to ask you to connect Google Docs, so click on create. Now, this is not a very simple connection where you just, click on sign in and that's it. Here, you have to do a bit of an extra step. So, I wanted to open a new tab, search for console.cloud.google, or you can just search for Google Cloud Console, same thing. Then just click on this, create a new project. Let's name it Google Docs connection, or maybe just Google connection to n8n. And click on create. After that, make sure you have selected that project and then just head over to APIs and services, enabled APIs, click on plus, search for Google Docs, first one, and click on enable. Okay, so it's enabled. Now let's go to credentials. So APIs and services, credentials. Then click on create and select OAuth client ID. Click on configure. We're going to get started. Let's give it a name. Let's just say n8n connection. Doesn't matter. For the support email, please put the email that you're using. Click on next. Then click on external. Next. Use the same email that you're using right now and that you had put previously. Click on next. Agree. Continue. Create. Click on create OAuth client. Select the application type as web. You can name it whatever you want. Scroll down to authorized redirect URIs. Click on add. Make sure you're not adding it here. Go back to your n8n. Copy this URL. Come back and paste it. Click on create. Just go to branding and under developer contact information, make sure your email address is there. If it's not, just add it. Then go to audience and under the test users, just put your email, same email. And just save it. That's it. Let's go back to the credentials. We're done. We're going to click on this. And there you go. There's your client ID. Copy this. Paste it in the first field. Go back. Copy the secret. And paste it here. Then click on sign in with Google. Select your email. It's going to show you this message. Just click on continue. Select all, give it all the permissions and continue. That's it. Your Google Docs account has been connected successfully. Okay, now let's quickly complete this API request. So just turn on the query parameters. The first one is going to be upload type, and the value is going to be multi-part. If you want, you can copy paste it from there. Then the next one is supports all drives. Make sure the camel casing is being used. Just make sure. And the value is true. Then we're going to send headers, which is going to be content type. And you can just drag the value from here. That's it. Lastly, send body, which is raw. Content type you can drag from here like before. And then for the body, you just have to drag and drop this. We already did the hard work in the coding part, so you don't have to specify the body again. After that, just click on execute. Okay, so it's saying Google Drive API has not been used. Okay, let's fix that. So let's go back to the console. Let's go to enable APIs and services. Let's enable Google Drive as well. I guess it needs both Google Drive and Google Docs because it needs to store it inside Google Drive. So enable. Okay, that's done. Let's click on execute again. And this time it should work. There you go. If you're seeing the ID here, then that means it is working. Now the last step, sending yourself an email. So just go with Gmail. Select send a message. Now again, you need to connect your credentials. Don't worry, we don't have to do that entire process again. What we're going to do is we're just going to also enable Gmail. That's it. And the same client ID and client secret should work. So let's enable it. And let's just copy it from credentials again. Credentials, this we had already created, just copy it. Same thing. Select your Gmail, click on continue. Give it the permissions, click on continue. That's it. That's done. Now, you can put whichever email you want to send the results to. So I'm just going to put my email. Subject line, your blog post is ready. Email type, HTML. Now, if you saw the email I had shown you in the beginning, it was very pretty looking, wasn't it? It was because of HTML. We did some formatting there. So copy this HTML code from the resources, and this is basically going to make your email look pretty, etc. If you want to change something, you can. Even you can ask ChatGPT to change it for you. By the way, there are a few variables. Just in case you're seeing them as red and not clean, then all you have to do is just remove that red one and just drag and drop the ID here. For this one, you're going to drag and drop the SEO data keywords. So go to Markdown and you will find it here, this one. So I'm just going to show you for one. You can do for the rest if needed. So keywords and put it. All these variables inside the Markdown output, you have to just drag and drop them just in case it's showing red. Click on execute. So I got the email. It's also going to look like that for you. If you want to change the appearance or anything, just put that HTML code into ChatGPT and ask it whatever you want to get done. And let's click on view. Oh, here is your Google Doc, very nicely formatted. Yeah, so the word limit was just 1200 this time. That's why it's short. Let's see. What's the secret sauce? Okay. It's not AI or humans. It's AI and humans. So simple, yet so brilliant. Adaptation isn't just necessary, it's your ticket to staying relevant. Okay, yeah, I think it's good enough, like we tested before. So the first branch, which was for generating the blog post, is ready. Now we have to create it for the newsletter. Trust me, it's not going to take that much time because we have already done most of the heavy lifting and we can just duplicate this and use it again. By the way, don't forget to rename your automation. So let's go ahead and create the second branch. So this one is obviously going to be there. So I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to put it here and I'm going to put another branch here. Let's open it up. Let me just rename it so that, we can make a difference. The user message is going to be the same, only this line has to be changed. Okay, you can copy it from the resources. And this is correct. And let's change the system prompt. Okay, there you go. Same thing, but for the newsletter, right? So instead of a blog post, we're getting it to give us a subject line and stuff like that, which is needed for a newsletter. Okay, let's close this. Now this remains the same, this is the same, this is the same. Here we have to change the example. So again, I've already written it. I'll just paste it here. and also execute it. In the meantime, let's copy this agent. By the way, for the newsletter, we don't need this looping thing because it can generate the newsletter in one go. It's not a big of a deal. So, by the way, we got the response here. So, let's see. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to improve it anyways. So, yeah, we just have 2 sections, I think. 3. But they're like 150 words each. So we can just put all together in the next agent and get the full newsletter generated at once instead of generating it section by section like we did for the blog post. Okay, so let's put newsletter content writer. Let's go to the user message. So here all you have to do is just change this name, right? So now it's newsletter strategy expert. So newsletter strategy expert. There you go. Easy. Now, since there is no section, we're going to remove this and also this. Everything is already there in the content plan and it just has to generate the newsletter. But yes, we do need to change this part. So let me replace it. And I think I forgot that line. Think before responding. Okay, cool. So this is done. And since we don't need JSON, we don't need to turn it on. This is fine. Let's run it. Save. In the meantime, let's copy this. Put it here. We need finishing for the newsletter as well. I hope you understand how important it is. So let's call it the newsletter finalizer. By the way, we got the response from the previous one. So let's go to table. Okay, so we have the entire newsletter. Yeah, the length is also fine. If you want, you can give it a read, but there's no point giving it a read because it's anyway going to rephrase it. So let's go here. Let's open the user message. Now, instead of blog post, it's going to be newsletter. By the way, we are on the third and the last AI agent for this one. And same thing here, newsletter. And for newsletter, it's not generally title, it's subject line. Okay, so content is output, same thing, drag and drop. Subject line we're going to get from the first AI agent, this one. I'm just going to put the array. So it gave us 3 options. Let's just put all 3 options here and it can just choose whichever is fine. This one, I think we just need to change the first line, rest is fine. So, okay, take this newsletter content, sub-headlines and one of the subject lines and add personality, same thing, okay. This one also is a little changed, so let's paste it here. You can copy it easily. I'm mentioning it again and again because if someone is just skipping through the video and just coming here directly, then they would be like, oh, you're pasting the prompts, how will we do it, right? So I have to mention it at different points in the video. Anyways, lastly, let's change the example. So let's paste the correct example here. Okay. Let's click on save. The rest of the story is the same. So copy all 4, duplicate, come here, connect it. Go to this one. Oh, by the way, we didn't run the last one. Okay, let's execute. Yes, so we got the response. So how to be irreplaceable in the AI era? So have you worried that AI is going to take your job? I know it seems like every other day there's a new article about how robots are replacing us. But let me share a fascinating story about a company I know. It's a bit of a game changer. Yeah, now. Nice introduction. Let's move forward with the automations. For here, just paste the content, click on execute. And we've got our HTML. Next is the code one. Now here is going to be a problem. We need to change this. Instead of final content, it's actually final newsletter. See, right here, it's final newsletter. And then instead of title, it is subject line. Okay. Rest, I think, is the same. Let's execute. Okay, it works. And let's click on save. Lastly, the Google Docs node. I think everything is good here. Let's execute. Let's check the email one as well. Okay, so we have got the red lines because the mapping is off. Actually, you know what? This is for the blog post. We need to replace it for the newsletter. Okay, I've just pasted the one for the newsletter. So open newsletter in Google Docs. The previous one was for like blog post. I just didn't want to use the same thing. So, okay. And also here in the subject line, let's just say your newsletter is ready. Even while duplicating things, you need to make sure you're fixing everything before moving forward. Let's click on save. Let's click on execute. Okay, so here's the email I got. Let's click on open. So how to be irreplaceable in the AI era? Very nice. Have you ever wondered that AI is going to take your job? Blah, blah, blah. Then there's a small story. Quick AI wins. Okay, a bit of my journey. Okay. Yeah, nice. I really like this one. By the way, if someone is interested in this particular topic itself, how to be irreplaceable in the AI era, I have a LinkedIn post on this covering the same points, the same story. You can go to my LinkedIn account, link in the description, and you can give that post a read. And yes, don't forget to give me a follow on LinkedIn and also on Twitter. Okay, so let's click on tidy up, and that's it. We have created the entire automation. Now, here are a few things we have to do in order to make this ready to use. First thing, go here, unpin this. Our job is done. We have created the automation. No need to keep that data pinned. Apart from that, turn on the automation. And now if you go to the first one and go to the production URL, then this is the link to the form. And every time you fill out this form, it's going to trigger the automation. So if I open it here, there you go. So every time you fill it out, it's going to trigger the automation. So we've already tested it 2 times. Firstly, for the self-hosting n8n blog post and newsletter. And after that, for the how to be irreplaceable in the AI era blog post and newsletter. You can continue testing it. And if you think you want to change something, then you can always come to the last AI agent and you can tell it that, sound like this or talk like this, be more professional, add a bit of a humor. It's up to you. It depends. Every person is different. And that's it. It's ready. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you created a very powerful system. If you did, do let me know in the comments below and please like the video so that the other people also know that this video was valuable. You will find the link to Hostinger's VPS plan along with the coupon codes in the description below. You will also find a link to my website, my LinkedIn account and Twitter in the description below. If you want me to cover something else in the future videos, maybe some specific automations or some AI agent, do let me know in the comments below. And yes, all the prompts are used throughout the video. You will find in the resources linked in the description. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.